Good morning. I've finally found some time to do some exercises. It turns out homeschooling 3 children isn't that easy. So I managed to find a little bit of time. They're outside, I'm in here. We can do some exercise, which is good. Now, if you didn't know me, my name's Rory Holiday. I'm a physiotherapist. I am prescribing exercises to clients all day, every day when we can work face to face. But I've never done it by video, so this is a first for me. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it and give me some feedback on how we can improve things, because we're always looking to try and progress. Now, I was thinking about different areas we could work. One of the most common areas that I see that we have to work on are the gluteal muscles. Whether it's a back problem, hip, knee, ankle, even shoulders, sometimes they've got problems with the glutes. And more often than not, I find that we're having to work on teaching people to relax and let go of these muscles. And if you can do that, generally they work a lot better when you start to try and activate them and then strengthen them. So think of this as a bit of a precursor to doing some of the strength work that you probably already know about. Now I'm going to be using a couple of little pieces of kit. I've got myself this massage ball. It's sort of a roller ball thing, but a tennis ball or spiky ball will do the job. As an alternative, I've got a trusty old foam roller. You've probably got one. It's probably gathering dust somewhere. Go and find it, get it out. And another thing that might be helpful today is a towel. Now, I've also got a mat. Useful to have a mat to lie on too. We're going to run through a few different things. First of all, we're going to do a little bit of a test just to see, have you got any real restriction in the hips? So, in standing, we're going to be having a look at rolling your feet inwards and outwards. So, I'm going to start off with my right leg. I'm just rolling that right leg in and out. So I'm going onto the outside border of my right foot, then back onto the inside border. And if you put your hand on your thigh, what you will feel is actually that movement's coming from your hip joint. So as you roll your knee in, the muscles at the back are having to lengthen. As you roll out, they're having to shorten. And we're just seeing how well do they lengthen. How well can you roll onto that inside border? Try it on each side and compare the movement. Does it feel free and easy on one side, but feel like you're working through sludge on the other side, or do they feel pretty similar? If they feel pretty similar, we'll take it up a notch. We're going to turn the body to your right, turning the pelvis as well. Do the same movement on that right leg, roll it in, roll it out, roll it in. It will feel a bit tougher to roll in and a bit easier to roll out, but how tough is it on one side compared to the other? Okay, and it may well be that you know which side you want to be working on already. If you don't, if one side feels a bit tougher to move than the other, then that's the side you're going to start with. Okay, so that's our test. We're going to come back to that in a moment or two. So, moving on. We're now going to be using our massage device, ball, spiky ball, tennis ball, whatever you've got, roller ball. I'm going to be positioning this just above the bony part of the side of the hip. So find that bony knobble, okay, come up a couple of inches where the meat is. That's where we're going to be trying to get this into. So we're going to position that in place and we're going to gently roll ourselves back. And then once we feel like we've got some pressure on that ball, we're going to just slowly roll knees over to the side. So we're going to try and hit that tender point, or even see if there is a tender point. You might find it straight away. It may be that you have to move it around a little bit and search for the bit that is most tender. Hold pressure, if you can, on that when you find the tenderness. It should be tolerable. It should be something that you can keep in place and hold for about 30 seconds. And usually we find that it just starts to ease off after about 30 seconds. If it does, that's great. Hold it there, ease off. Look for another place and keep working around for a couple of minutes. Okay? So that's a couple of minutes of work on each side. If you don't have a ball, but you do have a roller, then we're going to use a roller. Some people prefer the ball, some the roller. Work it out for yourselves. So we're going to sit on the roller, hands behind us, feet on the floor. I'm going to work on my left leg first of all. I'm going to put my left ankle over right knee. I'm going to roll over to the side a little bit, and then I'm just going to roll up and down. Now, if you feel like you're on the bony bit, your sitting bones, roll forward, get on the meaty bit and roll forwards and backwards on there. Even get over to the side, rotate toward the side that you're working on. You'll find you can get in a little bit deeper there as well. You might find some of those tender spots. Keep working them. And I want you to do that on both sides. just for maybe about a minute or so if it's tolerable. Okay, so when we've done that, we're going to ease off. We're going to take the roller out of the way, and we're going to start looking at some simple stretches. There are loads of glute stretches. Your gluteal muscles and the muscles underneath it are quite varied in their orientation of muscle fibers, which basically means that you can stretch it in all sorts of directions and you're going to hit something that's tight. Basically, we're going to try one way. There are others, and I might show you others later. So we're going to put left leg over right, ankle over knee. Now, if you can't do that, if your hip is sore or stiff and you can't do that, there is an alternative. We can take hold of the ankle or put a towel around the ankle and shin, which makes life a little bit easier. We're going to wrap that around, we're going to put the hand on the outside of the knee, and we can drop that other leg down. That way you can control the leg a little bit easier if you can't get the knee close enough to you. You could even put the towel around the back of the knee and do the very same thing. We're going to try and do it with our hands and the opposite knee, ankle over knee, and I'm going to pull my left knee to my right shoulder. I'm going to take it over to the point where I begin to feel a bit of tension here. Now, if you take it too far, it just rolls your body away from the mat. We don't want that. We want the body to stay still. This is a hip stretch, not the rest of the spine being stretched. So we bring it over to where it's tight, and we're going to hold that for about 10 seconds. Now, whilst I'm there, I could keep one hand on the outside of that knee, and I can put the other hand on the ankle and pull that ankle up a little bit, just to add a little bit more tension. Now, after about 10 seconds, I'm going to push my knee back into my hand, away from that shoulder, that opposite shoulder. So although you can't see it, I'm having a bit of an arm wrestle now with my leg. I'm pushing my knee away, but I'm holding it in with my hand. 10 seconds, pressure, 10 seconds, relax. Okay, when you've had your 10 seconds, relax. We're going to look for that tension again. We're going to pull that knee toward the opposite shoulder until we feel like we've got a bit of a stretch. If there's no stretch, get hold of that ankle, bring that up a little bit further again. And we're going to find that stretch position, hold for 10 seconds. Now, if you're getting a pinch in the front of the hip, just ease off a little bit. Don't force the front of the hip if it's pinching, it tends to irritate it. And then we're going to push back, knee into the hands, 10 seconds of pressing, holding that there, that pressure. It doesn't need to be as hard as you can, it's just maybe 50% pressure, and then gently ease out. And we're going to do this cycle 3 times. Okay, so we're going to look in for that stretch again. 10 seconds of stretching, ratcheting that ankle up a little bit more if we can, holding that there. After the 10 seconds of stretching, we're pushing that knee back into the hands, holding that there for 10 seconds, pushing with the knee, pulling with the hands. And then we're going to let go and gently relax. Okay, now we're going to recheck our hip movement. So we're going to have a jump up onto our feet, and we're going to come back so you can see me. And we're going to go back to rolling the foot in and out. Now I'm going to assume that you've done that cycle of stretching and massaging on both sides, but then we go back, see how each foot feels compared to one another and compared to how it felt before. We're going to turn the pelvis. Can you turn any further? Can you roll that foot inwards and outwards in that rotated body position a little bit easier? Maybe try about 10 on each side, turn in the other direction, trying 10 on each side. And then when we've done that, we're going to finish it off with a swishy arm movement where we're just going to rotate the whole body, looking behind us as we do it. Nice and loose, nice and flowing, free movement, allowing the hips to rotate. 30 seconds of this swishy movement, and then we are done. Okay, see how that works for you. There's going to be more in the pipeline. Hope to see you soon. If you've got any comments, please leave them for me, and if I can improve things for you with this, I certainly will. Speak to you later. Bye bye.